Let me go to Brandi out of Hawaii. Brandi, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Josie. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Hanging in there. Sorry.
What does that mean,
Early,
hanging
it's
in
like,
there?
I don't know. I guess it's just a saying. It's like 4:30 in the morning, and I've been up since 2. So I thought I'd be able to call you today.
Amazing. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. The reason I'm calling is I wanted to ask you what is wrong with these kids nowadays that are not kids. They're like almost 30 years old that don't want to do anything. They just want everything handed to them. I don't understand this.
They have no good parents.
Yeah.
You can't. It's the way that they were brought up. They have no good parents. And because if the parent had raised them in the right way to be independent thinking, to work hard growing up, not to work hard, but to work growing up, and allowed them to know that once they become an adult, they're on their own, I guarantee you wouldn't have the situation you have now. But the parents are no good. If you want to know what the parents are like, look at the children. Adult children.
Yeah, he's 26, and we let him camp in our backyard for almost a year now, him and his girlfriend, and use our 4Runner for almost a year now.
And you ask what's wrong with him? That's what's wrong with him.
Yeah, and he was supposed to save up money and, get a job, get his own car, and then get his own place. But when he came, he sold his car out there on the mainland, right, and came here, and instead of buying a car, he sat here for 3 months and did nothing. And, the reason I'm bringing this up is, a couple weeks ago, he finally got his own studio, right? But, the 4Runner we let him use, it's an older, 99 4Runner, and when we told him he could use it until he got his own car, we told him to put oil in the back end because the back end was going out, and he had to add oil, and he didn't add oil to it, and the bearings ended up getting dried up and started smoking, and it ended up costing us $2,000, and he's telling us that, so my husband told him he had to pay for it since he was driving it and didn't take directions, and now he's flipping out on us saying that we are screwing him over. I don't know how we're screwing him over when he lives for free.
You really don't know how you're screwing him over?
Yeah. Are we screwing him over? Or
yes, how you are screwing him over.
By giving him a handout and not making him work?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but when I tell him that he has to work, then they flip out on you and turn on you.
And?
I don't...
That's what homeless people do. You give them stuff free, and when you tell them no more freebie, they turn on you. But you can't blame them because you had no business giving them free stuff.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I'm the one that was against it, actually. Oh, I think we're for a break. So, I don't know. Should we just, not... My husband's he just won't answer him.
Hold on 1 minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Brandi out of Hawaii. 3 hours behind our time here in L.A. So, Brandi, your stepson is gone now?
Yeah, he moved out.
And so what's the problem now?
I just was wondering, what you thought of these kids. He
it ain't
almost
the kids.
totaled.
It's not the kids, it's the parents. And the only reason that he almost totaled the car, the only reason he was able to live in the backyard in a tent, and with his wife, right? You say you're married?
No, with his girlfriend.
With
They're
his
not
girlfriend,
married,
it's because you and your husband allowed it to happen, and when you stop doing it for him, now he want to hurt you.
Pretty much, yeah.
But that's what happens when you help people in the wrong way. It's just like the blacks, not all, but most, they've been getting free stuff now for 70 years. And if all of a sudden the government say to them, we don't have any more. We're not giving you anything free anymore. You got to earn it. There will be a civil war because they've been spoiled. And that nature that God gives all of us to cause us to take care of ourselves here on this earth, it has not developed. So it's the parents' fault.
So what if the parent didn't raise him? Because my husband didn't raise him. His mother did.
That wasn't a reason to let him come live in the tent in the backyard.
Yeah, and what's funny is I called you like a few years ago because he was begging me to come to let him, and I told my husband, and we stuck to it for a while. But then, yeah, he came out, and we were going to charge him, but we decided to let him save money so he could get his own place. And he wasn't supposed to use our car either. He was supposed to buy his own.
And both of those were dumb ideas because he didn't have to pay anything, he didn't have to worry about getting a place. But if he had been paying something to you guys, that would have forced him to get a second job if he needed to in order to grow up and take care of himself. It's still not, you can't blame him. You got to blame you and your husband.
So it's my fault for letting him live for free?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and now that he's on his own, it's his fault now if he doesn't take care of himself.
Yeah, we said we're not going to help him. Cause
you said that before, but y'all still did it.
Yeah, well, we didn't see him for 6 years, so we thought that maybe he'd grow up. But it seems like every time we go to help him.
All thoughts are all lies all the time. The fact that he didn't want to, he wanted to live there free was the evidence that he had not grown up.
Yeah, isn't it crazy that he's like 26 and can't hold a job or have his own place? But when I was 26, I was married with a house and my own business by then.
What was even crazier than that is that his parents spoiled him. You guys did that to him. That's crazier.
Yeah, well, I wasn't for it. I kind of let my husband, when he came here, I told my husband I wasn't going to have anything to do with any of it, so it was on him. So I don't want to take the blame on this. I know it's kind of my fault because I wasn't going to let him use the 4Runner either. It was only going to be a loan until he found a car, but he just never found one. He didn't try to.
He didn't need to. Y'all gave him one.
Yeah, and then he almost totals it and gets mad because we tell him to pay for it.
You keep saying that. You keep repeating that. And the reason for it, because he lived with parents that don't love him.
Yeah?
If y'all had loved him, you would have brought him up in a way that he would naturally be taking care of himself. But he wasn't raised that way, and so now he's stuck on you. And that's what happens when you don't raise your kids to be independent. You're stuck with trouble, and it's your own trouble.
What if you didn't raise them, though? Like, we never got to, every time he did come out, like, we were the weekend parents, because, the child support and all that. Every time he would come out when he was a kid, and we would make him do chores or make him do anything, he would take off and run home and not come back for 6 months. And so it's like we didn't have a chance to make him mind.
Why did you let him come back in 6 months?
I think it was the courts, just like it was written in court, we had to.
You had to.
But the mom would, but if we listened to the courts, we would. And
did the court say that, was he a grown adult at the time?
No, he was 6, 7. Like, since I've known him, he's been lazy. And I don't know if it's like because he grew up in Rancho Santa Margarita in California. I don't know if it's because everybody there is spoiled.
Brandi, no, it's the parents, Brandi.
It's the parents. But what if the dad's never around? Is it still his fault?
It's not his fault there. It's the mother's fault.
So it's his mom's fault that he's messed up.
But it's his father's fault that he let him come there and live free like that. And
True.
look what happened. Why did you marry a man that already had a kid that he wasn't taking care of?
I was young,
I
I guess
understand.
maybe, but
Yeah.
he tried to, but the ex is crazy. She would just not let him come around. Or there was a year when I first met him, I didn't meet his kids for a year because there was a restraining order against my husband for, she said that he pushed her, but it
So
never happened.
let me ask, what's the point right now for you?
And meaning, why am I calling?
Yeah, why is it bother you now that he's grown, he's gone? Why not just look at where you and your husband went wrong with this adult person and learn from it so if he call or try to come back again, you won't repeat it?
Yeah, we are. I just was wondering what your input was.
My input is that it's the parents' fault. And
Okay.
even as this boy is an adult now, at some point somebody got to let him suffer. Otherwise, he's only going to get worse.
Yeah, and I'm the one that, like, I try to be strict with him, and every time that I'm strict because I'm the stepmom, I'm not really the parent, he'll turn on me and get mad at me
Right. That's
and
why you're not
tell me
supposed to
I've never
marry.
done anything.
That's why you're not supposed to marry a man who already have children, and a man should not marry a woman who already has children. It just brings problem
Yeah,
because
I've said that.
step kids don't want step parents. They want their natural parents, their real parents.
All right. All right.
All
Well,
right,
I'm just going to let him
amazing.
suffer.
I'm sorry.
I'm just going to let him suffer from now.
There's nothing, no other choice but that.
Yeah, because they need to grow up. Like,
Yeah.
it's the real world. You can't just get everything handed to you.
Your husband should apologize to him for not making him stand on his own 2 feet when he first got there, and just realize it's over. You got to do for yourself, and so that you guys don't end up repeating the same thing over again. It's not about him; it's about you guys.
Okay. I'm going to make the change.
All right, Brandi. Call me again. I wish
Thank
you
you.
well.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Amazing.